Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your weekly reading for May 12th to the 12th to the 18th. This is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're gonna jump right into it, Taurus. First things first. Happy birthday! I'm so excited for y'all. Listen, this is going to. I think I told you this is gonna be like one of the biggest birthday seasons of your lifetime. This is gonna be a really big week for you. Okay, I'm looking at what's happening for you. There's gonna be a lot of changes, and I want you to know. There's going to be a lot of changes. I want you to get that in your consciousness right now. There's going to be changes, okay? You see what's happening at the end of the week? We're going to talk about that. And yeah, you can see that there's fewer aspects than normal. Remember, everything's been a little bit bonkers since March, but these aspects are mighty. It is a week of endings for your fated new beginnings, okay? It's a week of a lot of healing for you too, a lot of shadow work for you too, if you choose, but I'm going to walk you through that. Now, like every week, I'm also going to go over things I didn't tell you in your monthly forecast. I'm going to tell you some new things too. I'm going to tell you things that no one else is going to tell you because there's some big things happening and I'm going to take the time, okay? So also remember, no retrogrades other than Pluto. It's a outer planet. It's all the way out there. That's all about going within, right? For inner transformation. So full steam ahead. Okay. Now, I hope that you're having an amazing birthday season. We're kicking it off with this full moon. But before we even get to the full moon on May 12th, and I know I dropped these forecasts, days before the actual week begins. I just want to let you know. Yes, I did say that you, like any full moon, you're going to feel it days before, days after. You're really going to feel this one over the weekend, okay, before we even get there, because we basically have this T-square with the moon in Scorpio opposite Mercury in your sign, squaring Pluto at Aquarius. Okay, so that's some fixed energy there, all right? So when we get to the actual full moon on the 12th, it's happening around 1 p.m., my time, Eastern Standard Time, New York City time. If you want to convert that to wherever you live, it's happening at 22 degrees. I'm going to explain this. As I said, in your monthly forecast, there is some intensity with this full moon. Now, it's a full moon. So yeah, emotional intensity. It's a full moon in Scorpio. Heightened emotional intensity. But it can be intense passion, okay? It's how you use it, right? This is a full moon. It's endings. Completion, turning points. This is happening in your 7th house, okay? Remember, Scorpio is your opposite sign. So when I say endings, completions, turning points, things being illuminated for you, it'll be with partnerships. It'll be with relationships. It can be love. It can be career. It can be one-on-one commitments, personal relationships. It can be your pool boy. It can be your gardener. It can be your lawyer, your publicist. Doesn't matter, right? Also, legal matters. That is the 7th house. We work with, there's legal stuff that, contracts, things like that. But the main thing that I want you to know with this full moon is it is that illumination. It is truth coming to light because it is a Pluto-ruled full moon. Now, what did I say earlier? Pluto gets no sunlight, okay? And again, there's no sun, so that's why we say, Pluto is the, ruler of the underworld. And that's why I always say there's that depth, that darkness going deep, to bring that light to it, things being illuminated. So over this weekend, and in fact, the entire week, you're going to feel this the entire week. And these aspects on the weekend, you're going to feel during the full moon as well. Okay? They're strong. What is this? On Monday and around this time, yes, things are going to be illuminated like secrets, revelations, maybe even confessions. And it might be you. Remember, Pluto's retrograde and Pluto's transformation. And this is a full moon ruled by Pluto. Pluto is a ruler for Scorpio. So it can be a lot of work stuff too. All right. Now, in terms of things being revealed, but you seeing things that you need to see. I told you that 22 degrees, that's the Sabian. Listen, the Sabian symbol here is metamorphosis. Okay. This, again, you can't make this up. This is transformation right here. It's at 22 degrees. What are the chances? And so think, animal to spirit is really what it is. just expect some great change and transformation. If you want to think caterpillar to butterfly, there you go. Phoenix rising from the ashes. That's what this is. Now, 22 degrees. Why is this a big deal? Because 22 is a master number. Yeah. And so for many of y'all, maybe your life path number, whatever 22 is just, it's a deep connection with the ether. It's a force to be reckoned with. It is unlimited potential. 22 is the master builder. So what does that require? Creativity, discipline, tenacity, leadership, the right confidence to bring your dreams to reality. Being the builder, okay? The engineer of your life journey. So you are going to feel that right now. Now, what are the chances? And listen, coincidences are winks from the universe. 22 degrees in astrology is the Capricorn degree, right? Cardinal degree. The hardworking, disciplined, tenacious leadership degree. You can't make this up. And you can even if you want to break it down, 22, 2 plus 2 equals 4. What's 4? It's structure. It's hardworking. It's disciplined. It's foundation building. So you can already see a really big theme here with Capricorn, which is Saturn ruled, that is karma and life lessons, but end of the old, in with the new. That's what's happening here. You building this new future, this new vision for yourself, letting some things go. That's why it's like, let's go deep with the shadow work, okay? Now, what I want you to do, and one of the reasons why I'm harping on this, and again, what are the chances? You got the moon in Capricorn all weekend long. All weekend long. I'm going to tell you about that later, but I want you to think right now, 6 months ago, Taurus, what happened for you? November 1st, the corresponding new moon that we had in Scorpio. What happened for you? Think about the first 2 weeks of November, even the whole month of November. It was strong, okay? That was in your 7th house of partnerships and relationships and contracts and legal matters and marriage and everything that I mentioned earlier, okay? It can be career. Pluto was in Capricorn at that time, okay? Pluto was in Capricorn before it moved into Aquarius. So here's the climax. Whatever was happening around that time, here's the turning point. There can be an ending. There can be just an adjustment or an ascension in an area in your life. One part of you ending. Remember, Scorpio, right? The death card in tarot. Transformation, death and rebirth. That's what Scorpio is. That's what's happening around this time. Now, we're in your season, Taurus. What does this mean for you? Well, the sun is in your sign opposite the moon in Scorpio. Remember, the moon is just a rock. It reflects the sun. That's where you're getting that illumination. So there is something within you that is very likely going to be coming out around this time, or something that you're going to see that you need to see. Okay, that's the revelation, all right? Because your 12th house is activated too, and we'll talk about that. But I want to listen. You and Scorpio rule the money houses in the zodiac, and so and a level of relationships and relationship building. Okay, so those are going to be the biggest themes for you: money, finances, investors, investments, inheritance, joint bank accounts, taxes, royalties, all of that, okay? All on the table. And you've got that Uranus Kazimi. What did I say earlier? That's happening on the 18th. What did I say? It's going to happen here. You're going to feel it now. It's strong. It's in your sign. The Uranus Kazimi's in your time. Of course you're going to feel that. I told you it's going to be opposite the moon. And so this is a big deal. Uranus is all about surprises and the unexpected, but hey, it could be you having a windfall of money. You see how this works? You got to vibrate at the high frequency. You know how the law of attraction works at this point. I've given you, and that's the other thing. Watch my live streams. There's so many things that are so relevant to you, Taurus. I talk about my live streams because I don't have time. I run out of time. I can't do these 4-hour long forecasts for y'all. So I'd love to. But listen, just vibrate at the high frequency, okay? That's the whole thing, because This is that darkness with that Pluto being retrograde. And that's why we always say, like, that's why I always say, you got to go deep. You got to go deep. You got to unroot things. I always say, think about the Mariana Trenches. It's dark down there, but there can be a treasure chest. So go deep and go find that, right? Go deep. The reason why I'm harping on this, Taurus, is because it's your birthday season. It's the last week of your birthday season. And I want you to have the best birthday season, okay? 22 degrees isn't always a cakewalk. It's not an easy, yeah? And so if you're at that low frequency, because 22 degrees, again, can be a little challenging. If you're at that low frequency during a very intense full moon, it may be harder to attract the things that you want, okay? Now, remember, I always say, if you're vibrating at that high frequency, you're not even going to feel any of the, it's just, you're going to do that shadow work and you're going to be fine. And you're going to be like, I want to do this, all right? This is a full moon of transformation and letting things go. And when I say letting things go, Taurus, I'm talking about patterns, habits, relationships, jobs, whatever doesn't serve you well. Every Taurus has a different birth chart. You're all going to have different experiences, but what you have in common is letting something go for your transformation, okay? Out with the old, in with the new. You got to know what you want, all right? How do you know what you want? You go within and you ask yourself, what is my truth? All right. So single, if you're in a relationship, if you're here for a career, it does not matter. How do you want to transform? Transformation comes from within. I've told you that, right? And I hope you watched your last week's reading. Whoa, you saw that, okay? And I did tell you about HemiSync, so I hope you're using it because it's going to be very helpful. It's always helpful. Now, the moon is going to be opposite Uranus in your sign. Uranus is the great awakener. It's change. It's breakthroughs and freedom. And so this is liberating, this full moon. Use it. Please use it. And yes, it can bring unexpected announcements, shocking surprises, things like that. Yeah, especially with partnerships, relationships, everything that I mentioned. Or it can be you that surprises everybody. Hey, everyone. Tommy over here, we've been dating 10 years. We're getting married. Do you see what I'm saying? You can use this however you want to use it. It's just, you got to go within to know what you want. All right. And yeah, there may be some things happening with home and family and loved ones. There may be a female figure involved here, but either way, Uranus is revolution too. And you got Pluto in Aquarius, right? Revolution. And so have it. What do you want? It's evolution as well. How do you want to evolve? Okay. The fact that you are in Taurus season helps. Okay. The fact that you got Mercury in your sign helps because it does keep you grounded. Okay. It holds you, it's not hold my beer. It's like holding me grounded. All right. But here's the thing. You throw a Mercury square Pluto, which I talked about. In your monthly forecast. I'm not going to spend too much time here, but just remember what I said. You get through this, you work with this energy, you get through this little speed bump. Look at what you get in 2 weeks from now. Yeah. So a high frequency. All right. Mercury is communication and the mind. It's very mental. Pluto is very psychological. It goes deep. Very forensic. And so this is you going deep for your transformation for growth. That's why I talk about that shadow work. That's what you do with the full moon in Scorpio. All right. And this aspect, Mercury square Pluto, yes, it adds a little bit more intensity to the full moon and the days surrounding it, days before, because it's really strong. And thus it increases the probability of things coming to the surface and revelations and secrets being revealed. And even you just digging deep to get to the bottom of things. That could be it for you. So don't be afraid to let things come to the surface. Be the phoenix rising from the ashes. Let things go. Scorpio is a very intuitive sign. It's one of the top 3. The moon is intuition. So there is going to be this high level of just trusting your intuition, your gut. Okay. So shadow work for healing. intuitive work. Here's the thing. Mercury is in your sign, squaring Pluto and Aquarius, 2 fixed signs, right? So yeah, there can be a little bit of inflexibility or resistance, especially in thinking, or it can be a little bit extreme, pulling on that dark side, right? That, think of like the devil card or whatnot, right? So it can be also like it's Mercury, so like fighting words, maybe fighting thoughts, maybe power struggles with Pluto involved, jealousy, all of that are coming to this. They may be coming to the surface, and it can be love, it can be work, it can be family. Like I said, all y'all different. There's got to be something here. It can be very, 50 Shades of Grey or whatever. Zoolander. It doesn't matter. It's also too much control, too much power. That's how, you may feel, or you may feel someone is harnessing that energy, especially with relationships and money. The biggest themes for you. Remember, Taurus, your sign is a finance sign. And Mercury square Pluto, by the way, it is troll. Troll, and like internet trolls. They will be coming out to play because this energy, Mercury square Pluto, is very, I refuse to do shadow work because I'm always right and I'm not going to change. And I'm going to put all my darkness on social media, in this chat room, comment, whatever it is, right? Remember, it's Pluto here. Trolls stay hidden. They're in the shadows. They're in the dark. They come out to, that's why you never see their face. Anyway, even like bots are on the rampant. Pluto and Aquarius, that's tech. Anyway, that's what I'm just saying. Just keep that in mind because you do have the North Node in Pisces still all week in your 11th house of social media, but the 3rd house is also social media too, right? Mercury is the native ruler of the 3rd house. It's in your sign. And remember, this is a Scorpio full moon. Remember, Scorpio is a scorpion. It has the stinger. So have your stingers in. Be responsive, not reactive. Always take the high road. Always take, you're on a karmic journey. We know that. And we know that you create your reality. We create our path. And so use this aspect to empower. This is Pluto, empowerment. This is great for leadership, for even like strong concentration, focus, empowering others. I talked about this. It's very sharp, very psychic, very intuitive. This is really like having like a really good BS filter. So it's like when no one can deceive you when you use this, when you trust your intuition. I told you your monthly forecast. I got Mercury square Pluto in my chart. I've worked with this my entire life. I'm living proof that you can use this for the greater good. You can turn any aspect into, you know what I mean? Now, so vibrate at that high frequency. Be the best version of yourself. And when I say high frequency, yes, we're talking love, superconscious love, compassion, gratitude, kindness, all of that. Stay there. Stay at that 10 because this is going to be a time around this time. Yes, several days. People may try to bring you down into their low frequency energy. What do I always say? Don't stoop to their level, but bring them out. Bring them out of that frequency. That's karma. That's the greater good. So you can work with this. And like I said, when I talk about shadow work, look at what's happening over the weekend. First of all, I just told you this, you got Saturn and the North Node still together. Rahu here in your 11th house. That's big. That's big. That's your network, it's allies, it's benefactors, it's your friendship. So you see how you have like a lot of like one-on-one stuff, but also just personal stuff, like relationship stuff in general. Your community, bigger community as well. But it's also your hopes and wishes and future dreams and goals. You got karma here with the North Node. You got Pluto retrograde, right? Within. And so a lot of this has to do with like your reputation. And then you've got Jupiter squaring the nodes of fate. You got Jupiter sextiling Chiron. This is just when they perfect. So Jupiter aspects, you start feeling the beginning of the month. But as we get closer to the perfection, it gets stronger and stronger. And it's really strong this week. It's this ramp up. And don't forget, you also got the South Node in Virgo. What have I been telling you what that is? It's getting rid of perfectionist energy, self-critical energy, being hard on yourself. This is a time where you may realize, I'm being really hard on myself. I'm not going to bring that into this brand new era. And remember, we have a lot of Aries energy still. That is your 12th house. We will talk about that in a second. But this Uranus Kazimi that's happening in your sign, yeah, there's going to be some change, okay? And don't be afraid to go deep. Don't be afraid to be in touch with your emotions. It's okay to cry. It's okay to bawl. It's okay to shout at the walls. Listen, when you do that shadow work, which if you don't know what that is, it's just facing things that you don't want to face. That's hard to face, okay? You've got a lot of activity in your 12th house. That's the subconscious. So there's got to be some things where if you do that shadow work, you can unroot things, because the 12th house is also self-sabotage. And so there may be some things illuminated where you say, oh, this is a pattern habit I'm doing. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm letting it go. All right. So just keep that in mind. And that's why I talk about emotions. Emotions are frequencies as well. All right. That's why I talk about frequency. And it's okay to feel. We're human beings. Nobody's perfect. We're human beings. We have a range of emotions for a reason. So feel the feelings you need to feel, but those low energy frequencies do not get stuck there, because you want to feel them to grow and to learn. Yeah? Spend time in nature. It's almost like I don't have to tell you that. You're a Taurus. You're the earth. You get it. But, treat yourself. It's your birthday season. Get a massage. Book an hour-and-a-half one. Let things come out. Yeah? Because that is even meditation. Right? Now, here's the other thing. Another reason why this full moon is so strong, because I've already given you 4 reasons. Now, another one. Okay. You got Juno conjuncting the full moon. So this is big, especially because now we are triply amplifying what this full moon is going to be like for you. Now, this is happening at 24 degrees. We love 24 degrees. Okay. Very intuitive energy. I like this. That's a 6 harmony. It's great. We love it. We love it. Use it. Juno, who I've talked about, asteroid, Roman goddess of marriage, who is complementing Venus, your ruler, right? And also linked to Libra. Therefore, Juno, when she's conjuncting this full moon in Scorpio in your 7th house of partnerships and relationships, that's what Juno is. Juno fights for justice for you in commitments and marriage and contracts and fidelity, infidelity, betrayal, legal matters, personal relationships, even wealth. Do you see how now it's really amplified? So it just brings this extra layer in dynamics in relationships or situationships or, love triangles, wherever you do you, Taurus, but this is all about truth and justice for you. Use it. Okay. She's giving you a lot of power here. And one of the reasons why this is a big deal, because have you seen a Juno conjunction with the full moon? We're going to talk about it in the second spread, but Juno is with the North Node. She's negotiating for you on your behalf for your future hopes and wishes and dreams. And this is a tight trine, okay? It's 1 degree. So there's something new and beautiful coming out of this in this beautiful way with other people involved, but also just your future goals. Now, remember what I just said about November 1st, thinking about what happened around that first week? Juno moved into Scorpio November 3rd. Just made it in time, right? For the new moon in Scorpio, because you feel that for 2 weeks, even the entire month, right? It's strong. She went into Sagittarius, had a little thing there. She just came back to Scorpio a week ago. just in time for this full moon. What are the chances? So, really use this energy. What is that truth and justice that you're seeking in legal matters and partnerships and relationships and all of that, all right? Maybe even second marriage, because over the weekend, the moon will be in Capricorn. I think I told you that. Okay? And that's just for you, Taurus. That's just for you. And other things that I'll talk about. But the ninth house is also legal matters and the courts as well. So there may be some things here. All right. Now, remember, Saturn is with the North Node. That's really great. However, they're starting to separate now. Okay. You just went through the Saturn North Node conjunction. So, first of all, congratulations. Now, remember, this full moon, that 22, that master builder, now Saturn with the North Node, Saturn being the builder, that structure, building for your destiny here, your mission statement, your purpose. Use this. Remember, I said Saturn's making things easy for you right now. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because Saturn, is with the North Node and with Ceres. We're going to talk about this. This is a big deal for you. Ceres, we talked about her last week. Asteroid here. The reason why this is a big deal is because you got Saturn, North Node, and Ceres all conjuncting, right? And sextiling Uranus in your sign. I mean, you've got some great stuff happening, Taurus. All right. So even just Saturn alone, working with Uranus together for this new vision, and then Uranus in your sign, Uranus breakthroughs, innovation as well. Really great at rebuilding. Yeah, I said rebuilding, not building. I said rebuilding because Uranus is going to break things down for you to have that breakthrough. All right. Remember, Neptune moved into Aries, left Pisces. Neptune dissolves. Neptune's dissolving that old vision of yours because you're moving into this new vision. We're in a big time right now. And I talk a lot about like things on the live streams, but anyway, we'll talk more about this in the second spread. There's a big thing happening. There's a big thing happening for you. All right. Anyway, don't forget Saturn is leaving. Saturn's moving into Aries next week. So when Saturn moves into Aries, leaving the North Node, leaving Pisces, this is what's going to happen. Saturn is saying, hey, I'm in a new house, Taurus. Exciting. All right. Oh, by the way, did you get rid of all those old structures and patterns and ways of thinking and systems? Because you can't bring it here. You can't bring it in this new house. And that's why I keep saying out with the old, in with the new. All right. You can. Remember, Saturn is discipline and authority. And we've talked about this. And remember, it's gradual. It's a process. You don't have to do it like that. It's a process. But everything is opening up for you. Okay? Now, I'll tell you. May 16th, Ceres, I just talked about. And when I say Ceres, just think about self-care, nurturing, even agriculture and food. So there may be food stuff here. By the way, family stuff, because Ceres is motherhood, or, maternal side, your maternal side, paternal side. Well, Ceres on May 16th is moving into Aries. So when I say I can't make this up, when I say Ceres moved into Pisces in February last year, just in time to join that once in a lifetime alignment, all those planets, that 6-planet conjunction over that 0 degree point of new beginnings. So you've been going through that since March, that wave I was talking about. And now she's going to join Saturn and Neptune moving into Aries. Saturn and Neptune being together for the first time in Aries in over 300 years. And she's now with them at that 0 degree point, 0, 1 degrees. You can't make this up. And so what does that even mean for you? Taurus. We'll talk about the second spread, but this is definitely that there's some higher power at work here, helping you, steering you, and guiding you in this new direction. That's really wonderful. And all that energy, you still got Venus and Aries too. All that energy that you're ramping up to feel, and you've got Neptune and Aries right now too. So remember, that's all your 12th house. Spirituality, right? Intuition, healing, and the subconscious. But it's also rest and retreat. This is really great. This is really wonderful. All right. But remember, there are lower expressions, which, like I said, can be self-sabotage, and it can be like hidden enemies, and it can be isolation, withdrawal, really being, being hard on yourself. All right. So just be mindful. You want to vibrate at that higher frequency. There's higher expressions. And don't forget, next week, we got Venus trine Mars. We have the Sun sextile Saturn, and they all happen there. You feel it this week. You're going to start feeling it this week. All right. Now, cross watchers, if you watch for your rising or your moon, or for your sister or your husband, whoever it is, fiance, it doesn't matter. All the fixed signs, that includes you, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, you're going to feel this day the most out of all the signs. And if you know your birth chart, your natal chart, and remember, I'm getting it a wider orb here because of Uranus. If you have any planets between 20 to 27 degrees in fixed signs, or Virgo, or Pisces, or Capricorn, you'll feel it the most. All right? Now, money's going to be a really big thing for you, like I said, especially you see Jupiter active, and we'll talk about that, but we will have the moon in Sagittarius. That is your 8th house of wealth building. That is what the full moon is anyway. Remember, I said money and relationships and wealth, they're going to be big things. I said that in your monthly forecast. The biggest focus for you will be partnerships, relationship, legal matters, but money will be involved. All right. Now, I think I said it earlier too. Mercury square Mars on May 17th. Listen, again, I have to just spend a little bit more time with you because Mercury's in your sign, squaring Mars and Leo, another fixed sign. Okay. Now this, again, like the last square, once a year, it's rare. It's strong. You feel it days before, days after, but you see that it's amplifying the energies of that Uranus Kazimi in your sign. And this is penetrating. Mars is like a laser. And remember, Mars and Leo, when you have something like this, it brings out those lower expressions. Well, it can, okay? Of pride, of ego, of even like recklessness, like even weaponizing the powers of Mercury, of words and thoughts. So yes, around this time, words can be exchanged. There can be tempers. There can be, being impulsive, rushing through decisions, not thinking before you speak, jumping to conclusions, or competitive energy. But again, I've told you, you can use this. You can use these energies and these aspects. Don't let them use you. Be direct, but diplomatic. Listen to what people have to say, right? Agree to agree. Agree to agree, right? That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. And remember, you're on a karmic journey, and you've got that Uranus Kazimi. So if you, let me tell you something. This is going to be a really big weekend for you before we leave your birthday season, okay? So let's say you are in line to go on that roller coaster ride, and the ride operator says, "Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, sir, you can't ride this wearing Crocs." You're going to throw your Crocs at that person? Are you going to have a, right? Because that's what this aspect's trying to make you do. So no, you're going to smile. You're going to smile and be like, another time. You're going to work with your karma. You're going to go another ride, okay? And when you go to that other ride, that ride operator turns out to be that your soulmate, or the, intern that you need to hire for your company, or is connected to the royal family, or you never know. You get on that ride, this person sitting next to you, that's Robert Pattinson. He's like, I want you in my next movie, or I want to marry you, or whatever. Do you see how this works? You work with these are all vibrating high frequency. You're on a karmic journey. you receive what you give out. So remember, just work with these energies. You're going to be fine. All right. Work with your karma. Remember, it's also physicality. Yeah. Great time to exert energy by doing gardening or karate or karaoke, whatever you want to do. All right. Now, Mercury in your sign on this day will be opposite Juno. So again, there is something here with partnerships and relationships. If there are any words or thoughts or anything that I just mentioned, maybe here with legal matters as well. So use Juno. She's here to help you. Fixed signs. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. You're going to feel this the most. And Aries, Gemini, and Virgo. Okay? If you're a cross watcher. If you have planets between 10 to 16 degrees in any of the fixed signs, you're going to feel this. Now, May 17th, 18th, here we are. Depending on where you live, remember some of these aspects happen like midnight-ish. You got the Uranus Kazimi, happens once a year. It's rare unless you live for the next 84 years, Taurus. This is going to be the last Uranus Kazimi in your sign in our lifetime. Think about 2018. I asked you this last time. Think about what your life has been like since 2018. Speaking of roller coaster, right? A lot of things out of your control. A lot of surprising, unexpected things happening. That happened in your sign. It could be anything. It could be work and career. It could be money. It could be family. It could be love. Uranus is leaving. Uranus is leaving, and this is the last one. That's why I say expect some surprises. But if you use this aspect, like I said, Uranus wants you to use it. So this is very stimulating and also unpredictable. But remember, it's more about you having your breakthrough, shaking things up. That's what Uranus wants. Uranus is the great awakener. Like I said, freedom, rebellion, breaking from routine, have your breakthrough. Very innovation. That's Uranus, okay? Revolutionary, evolutionary, but change, period. Like I said, in your monthly forecast, the chances of sudden, unexpected change, yeah, they can be very, 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 very high. This day, this aspect, yeah, it can be the Tower card, but it can also be the Wheel of Fortune. Where do you want to vibrate? Where do you want to vibrate? And when I say the Tower card, for a lot of y'all, that's actually going to be the best thing for you if you want it. It's going to be the best thing for you. So, yeah, the last one in your sign. Think about, you know what I want you to do? I think, did I say this your monthly forecast? Think about think about every May. Think about your birthday season every May. Yeah? Since 2020. What happened? Because the Uranus Kazimi happened in your sign every May since 2020 or so 2018. I just think from this decade. But remember, it's a conjunction. So just think of it as like a cycle. So it could have like kicked things off for something to happen later. But anyway, remember, you could have had a big breakthrough too during those times. Now, this is the last one. Uranus is going to go big here, and he's going to say, like, you know, there's something overdue. It's time. So remember, it's more about you shaking things up. Okay. And again, every Taurus is different. Every Taurus is going to feel it in a different way. And like I said, even with the full moon, with Uranus there as well, it could be it could be a windfall. Remember, there's money stuff this week. You could have this unexpected windfall. Remember, 8th house energy, the Scorpio energy in general is investors, investments, it's inheritance, it's things like that. You could inherit. Your parents could say, y'all, hey kids, or hey Tammy, my favorite kid, we're retiring. You're going to take over the business. You're going to pocket $3 million a year. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't know. You just don't know with Uranus, but it's at 27 degrees. That's great. So I like that. Okay. Because that is, first of all, we all know about with number 9. You saw your last week's reading, okay? All those nines. 2025 is the year of 9. It's a mutable degree, Gemini degree. So this is the degree of communication, of curiosity, of learning, of being very open to new experiences, which is why, right? Pay attention to the fact that Jupiter in Gemini, you're going to feel, but also this is you having a breakthrough. So this Uranus Kazimi is, again, it's more about you breaking from something that you need a break from, coming after that full moon that's saying, let's let this go, with Saturn and the North Node saying, let's let this go, right? Out with the old, in with the new. Now, speaking of Jupiter, yeah, there's money stuff here. You got Jupiter squaring the nodes. Remember, they're in Pisces and Virgo. Listen, you got Jupiter, Jove, right? King of the gods, optimism. It didn't matter the aspect. Jupiter always squeezes something good out of something. And I love this square. And you're already feeling it. So what is this? It's this great fated opportunity that has a big potential to go big, to expand, have luck, good fortune around, even change your perspective on things. That's what Jupiter's doing here. All right. So because you've been feeling it since the beginning of May, you could already have been going through all that, right? You're in your expanding phase, your expansion phase, or this day or around this day, that's when you have your moment. And then you're going through that 2 weeks after. So put yourself out there. Jupiter is, I mean, you got the karmic node of fate with a planet of luck and wisdom and expansion and growth. Remember, Jupiter is faith too. Now, in Jupiter in Gemini, this is the last month, okay? The last full month in your second house of not only self-worth and self-value and material possessions, but money and salary and income. Yep. All right. And then you got Jupiter sextile Chiron. We talked about this. Jupiter, this is just helpful in terms of Chiron. This is what's happening here. You are doing some inner healing for old wounds, right? Places where you feel the most vulnerable, old wounds that you've had for some time. And Chiron is in Aries. That's your 12th house of, what did I say earlier? Your subconscious. Healing. So you're going to be doing a lot of healing this week, but you have a lot of, Jupiter here. You have a lot of luck. This is opportunities for growth and expansion with healing. All right. It can be mindset. It can be spiritual healing. A lot of it is going to be the subconscious for you. All right. Or any like self-sabotage energy. If you feel that, this is when you're going to be, okay, let me break out the sage. Let me do my thing. And then it's gone because Jupiter is helping here. All right. Unblocking chakras, things like that. Now, Eris, who I've talked about, right? Mars' sister, the goddess warrior. She's right on top of Chiron. We'll talk about it in the second spread. So just looking at everything that's going on for you, by the way, this day, all signs are going to feel this immensely because all the modalities are activated. But if you want to take that Uranus Kazimi alone, all the fixed signs, obviously you, the most, will feel it the most. And then if you know your birth chart, if you have planets between 24 to 29 degrees in any of the fixed signs, or Pisces or Virgo, or 0 to 5 degrees in Aquarius or Aries, you will feel it the most. Okay? Let's get to it. All right. So, Taurus, y'all, come on. Oh, by the way, yeah, moon. Okay. So another reason why you may feel the weekend really, 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 really strongly is because the moon will be, in Aquarius. So the moon will be, conjuncting Pluto, and that's powerful. and it adds a little bit more intensity. But more in terms of like seeking your truth. Remember, Pluto is retrograde. This is in your 10th house of fame and career. And we will talk about in the second spread because there's just so much happening here. All right. So let's get started. Let's see what's going on for you, Taurus, for May 12th to the 18th. All right. Taurus. Wow. Birthday time. Birthday week. How are y'all doing? Happy birthday. I hope you're having an amazing birthday. I'm like, you see my, I got a Venus flytrap. I love it. Y'all, also, the other thing is, I finally finished the merch store that I have, the new designs. My friend did the designs, but I know it's taken me a long time. I was just really busy, but they're all based on your comments. All right. So all the like you're good t-shirts and your sign and mugs and hats, all that. So take a look, but I'm very excited that I'm finally, it's finally up. Okay. And you know, I love y'all. All right. And I do a traditional Celtic Cross spread, offers the best overview, especially for a weekly reading. If we need to pull clarifiers, you know that we will. Taurus, let's see what's going. Okay. Yep. Everything that I just said. Here we go. Actually, ooh, yeah. Ooh. It's got to be a week. Let's get started. You got the 4 cups. Okay. Yeah. Sure. I want you to work on a couple of things. The biggest thing is throat. Did I mention the throat chakra earlier? I want you to work on the throat chakra. Communicate what you need to diplomatically, but don't hold things in. That's the first thing that's coming through. Okay. Secondly, it is the 4 of Cups. This is a card where it's all about having gratitude. You see him closing off his heart, opening up your heart. All right. Because he's already got cups. He's got 3 of them. There's a 4th one coming through. The hand of spirit, the ether, saying, look at his reaction. That cup's eye level. There is no illusion here. It's right, like, it's like that. And so remember, as you move into this week with that full moon, okay, in Scorpio, ask yourself, what has got to go? What has to shake up? Because this card is associated with, it's a 4 of Cups. It's associated with boredom and apathy and emotional discontent. Yeah. And I'm not saying that's you. I'm saying that's what this card is associated with. And that's why throat chakra came through for me. Okay. I want you to speak what you need to speak, your truths. Don't worry about the repercussions. If you're trusting your intuition, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. It's your birthday season. You think the universe is going to turn its back on you now? No, it's celebrating you. That's what's going to help. And it's that gratitude. And again, the mindset. There's something here with the mindset, seeing something in a way. Well, let's change our perspective on that, because this is a card where it's like, like he's saying like, also like another energy is like, oh, nothing happens for me, or I haven't gotten what I want, or I mean, well, hey, look, yeah, something is happening for you. It's right there. You got to see it. You got to trust your intuition. You got to have that awakening with the full moon where Uranus in your sign will be very active. So this is all about having that breakthrough, but also it really is like that high frequency of gratitude and love and super conscious energy and all of that. All right. That compassion. That's all it is. But it's here. That's okay. But mindset too. Open up your heart. No. Page of Pentacles on the heart of your spread. Yeah, you do have something. You do that. You got something right here. Right here. Something new. All right. With every full moon. Yeah, sure. Something ends. Opens the door for something to begin. And I already told you a couple things that are happening this week that are big for new things. There you go. This is you, by the way. Pages carry. So Page of Pentacles is double earth. Pages are earthbound, and so are Pentacles. Very earth energy. Therefore, a lot of Taurus energy exists in this card. And you see he's got that pentacle. He's going to turn it into something. Pages, fresh new beginnings. So, yeah, expect it. What do I say about money and wealth? All right. Physical reality. That's what Pentacles are anyway. And we're in Taurus season, your season. So your physical world, there could be something coming through. Okay. You got to let it, right? You got to be open to it, right? And there you go. And this is also you taking that action. But at the same time, remember, you've got to take that action. But there you go. Something brand new that you can build upon. And this is the page that's like the student. He loves learning. He loves learning. He loves studying. He wants to be the King of Pentacles one day. So he's sticking to this. Remember, you got Mercury in your sign all week. Mercury is all about learning and, launching new things and things like that. But also just communication. Speak the things you need to. Hierophant, there you go. 2 things here. Okay. First things first. Yes. We need to go deep. All right. We need to go deep. We got to believe in ourselves. We got to be in touch with the ether, all of that. No crossing off the heart. You got the Hierophant, your card. Yeah. The Hierophant is you. And we got to open that up. All right. The other thing is, I'm sorry, where is it going on here? So the other thing that I was going to tell you is that with the Hierophant, there is definitely 1000% someone that you're going to see may not be the best person to be part of your journey at this point. Okay. That full moon is going to illuminate things, and you're going to see that there's someone that maybe you used to get like really great advice from, or there was someone that was like a great teacher for you, or, you felt, spiritually alive and everything like that around this person, but it's reached its expiration date or a point of fatigue, or there's been a little bit of a betrayal or a little bit of deception. Okay. Work, love, family. It does just be mindful of that. You got the pair, you got the Hierophant, the High Priest, right? Which, by the way, is structure as well. He's into structure, but he's also a builder, the Hierophant. Yeah. And so it's, again, you've got to be in touch with the divine to build. But anyway, you got the High Priestess, really great. You're protected. Remember, I said you've got a lot of energy in your 12th house, and we'll have a lot more when we get to next week. And what did I say? That's the subconscious. You got the High Priestess, the guardian of the subconscious in your crown. What are the chances? That's amazing. And so she's saying, don't be afraid to go deep. I'm protecting you. All right. Go deep, do that introspection. This is very intuitive energy. You're going to be in touch with your intuition, especially with a full moon in Scorpio. That's, like I said, very intuitive. But the fact that you've got all this energy in your 12th house of intuition, yeah. You even see the moon at her feet, a sliver of the moon, even her headdress. You got that last week. You got the High Priestess last week. Now that I think about it, that's great. That's great, because look at where she's at now. Stronger. Yeah. So really great. 4 ones. Yeah. There's something happening that has to do with partnerships, or something in the domestic sector is very strong. And also career. Remember, you got a lot of career energy. This is a card of celebration. It's the hurrah, the huzzah card, milestones. So yeah, that's something that's happening, because it's happening. There's something that you're moving through this week that feels really good. And you see where you're, like, the potential of it all. And a lot of y'all may have already experienced it. Maybe you have gotten married. Maybe it's happening this week. Maybe you're getting proposed to. Maybe you're having a baby. Maybe you are getting a promotion. Maybe you're starting your own business. Whatever it is, there's something here to celebrate. There's something here really sweet and special and really nice. But the biggest energy of all, there is this sense of you feeling free about something. Like, I love this energy. All right. And wands are your passions. It's just tapping into your passions. It's like whatever you're ambitious about. Okay. And a lot of it can be career. Now you got the Seven of Swords in your future. Listen, just don't. The biggest thing of all, remember, don't be afraid to go deep. Don't be afraid to explore. Okay. Trust your intuition, because there is this level of the Seven of Swords where it's like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to be honest with myself, because this card is a trip. It's like deception, disloyalty, dishonesty, deceit. So 2 things. Yeah. It could be someone else. This is saying you've got to trust you. You got to be honest with yourself. Okay. It doesn't matter if this is a card of lying, cheating, stealing. So it doesn't matter either way. If that is happening within your world and you don't do anything about it, yeah, that's being dishonest with yourself. Okay. So this is just facing your realities and your truths. And sometimes, again, it can be hard, but you've got to do it. And yeah, it may be something with career and work, by the way, for a lot of y'all. But I did say that there is like an element of like partnerships, relationships. It can be a boss. You just listen, everyone's going to be different. It is an Aquarius card. I did tell you over the weekend, you are going to have the moon conjunct Pluto in Aquarius, right? Pluto did go retrograde in Aquarius. That's why it's a lot about you going within. But you got to face some reality here. All right. You want me to clarify? It's your birthday. All right. I'll clarify that Seven of Swords for you. All right. Let me do a time check too. Okay. Oh yeah, there you go. See, you got to be fine. Wow. You got the Hermit, High Priestess, and the Hierophant. Who are you? I told you this week that you were really going to go deep. Let's get to your stuff. Taurus, listen. If you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what's going on. Tell me, first of all, when is your birthday? Days matter. Days matter. Yeah. And you already know what happened last week. You got Mercury with Jupiter. You got some great stuff. I love y'all too. Oh, and the Hermit is just saying, yeah, that's going to be, it's like, you got to go deep. That is true introspection here. True reflection. Soul searching. All right. Let's see what's going on. Oh, okay. Yeah. There's going to be a lot going on up here this week. Okay. A lot. And listen, when you have a Uranus Kazimi in your sign, yeah, it can be a little, yeah. So, swords. I even said from the very beginning, what did I say? The first thing I felt was your throat chakra. Swords are communication as well. Mercury is in your sign. You got the Six of Swords. That's great. Do it. Look at this. Look at my finger. Look at the turbulent water. Look at the direction they're going, right? From chaos to calm. That's what you want. And that's what I want for you. All right? So this is accepting realities. Saying, okay, that happened. I'm not going to stay stuck in that energy. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to take whatever that was and use it to empower myself and move forward, because they're protected. You even see the swords in front of the boat protecting them. You even see the ferryman here towering over the woman and the child. That protection, that security. You're going to be fine. You're going to be good. You got the Five of Swords in your external factors area. So what did I say about fighting words and not seeing eye to eye with others? Be the better person in the situation. Be the best version of yourself. Okay? You got the Ten of Swords. You just want it to be over. All up here. Okay? You got to face some things this week. All right. And then you have the Two of Swords in your final outcome. So you gotta face some things, because what's happening here? First of all, you got the 5, 6, 7 of Swords. 10. Listen, you got the entire suite of Aquarius cards, right? 5. This is an Aquarius. This is actually Mercury in Aquarius. You got a lot. That's Moon in Aquarius. Anyway, and the Moon will be in Aquarius. So remember, Aquarius, Pluto is in Aquarius. That's a Pluto ruled full moon. You got Aquarius energy all week, but listen, the biggest thing of all, Aquarius does rule not only career and fame, but also your reputation and how you want to be perceived. Yeah. So there's a sense of there could be someone that's really, okay. But this card at the end of the day is all about that self-respect, right? It's like self-dignity. Do I need to because it can be you. It can be you. Yeah. 10 of Swords. That's also just really great because it's just saying that's, if there's anything you want, is you just want it all to end, whatever's building up here. But you got to learn from it, because there could be, like I said, that's what karma is. That's why we go through karmic cycles. This is a cycle. 10 is the end. Those dark clouds are actually clearing. The sun, as you can see, is coming through. And outside of the sun card, the sun only exists in a few cards. Look at his hand gesture. Yeah? Blessings. Interesting, though. Same hand gesture as the Hierophant. So this is really more like blessings in disguise. I had to go through this to learn something. It is swords, learning, right? So I never have to go through that experience again once I learn from it and use it to empower myself. That's what karmic lessons are. But same hand gesture as the Hierophant. What did I say earlier? This is easily saying there's someone that may not be a good influence, and someone that you may see through this week when the full moon illuminates. There could be someone connected, okay, that's making you feel this way. But you gotta face your reality. She's wearing a blindfold. You gotta face your truths. How do you do that? You do everything that I said earlier. You trust your intuition and you explore your emotions, and don't be afraid to go deep. Why? Her back is turned to the moon and the sea. Emotions and intuition. And these swords, to be honest, they get heavy. They get really heavy. And there's a point of resistance here from the get-go, where you see what I said. He's crossing off his heart. She's crossing off her heart. Yeah. And so there's got to be a little bit of really, there's something you got to face. Okay. And it, honestly, you are actually really good. You have the High Priestess in your crown. You got something new happening. You got clarified here that Hermit. You got the Hermit and the High Priestess with that Four of Wands. But there's someone in your way, but you gotta confront, or it could be you. It could be you getting in your own way. But up here, remember, you got Mercury in your sign. Yeah? So just keep that in mind. It's a big week of healing. I said from the get-go, big week of shadow work, soul searching. Here's the thing. You got Moon in Aquarius. You got Moon in Libra. High Priestess associated with the Moon. You got the Moon in Cancer. You see all these Moon cards you got. So really trust your intuition, your emotions. You got the South Node in Virgo. The Hermit is Virgo. What else? I mean, Yeah. I mean, you got your own, but even still. Anyway, you got a lot of moon cards. The moon is the subconscious and its emotions and its intuition. So that's the biggest takeaway here. But this, it's just being honest with yourself. Okay. And you see that you gotta go deep. And when you do, if there is someone that you confront or if there's a truth of the matter, it's helpful because then you can move on your journey. And that's all about wisdom, becoming wiser. You got to get comfortable enough to take off that blindfold. There's a big decision you got to make. All right, Taurus. Thanks so much. Oh my gosh. If you like this, okay, we're going to do the second spread. Second spread, we're going to go deep. Okay. We're actually going to do a spread just on the full moon on top of another spread. Well, I'll walk you through the asteroids, the planetoids, how they're going to affect you. There is an amazing golden triangle, other lunations, but there's something great happening. You just can't there's just something you got to face here. All right. Now, next week, yeah, we'll go deeper in the aspects. There's a lot happening next week. As you know, there's a Saturn moving to Aries, but you know what's happening what else is. If you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what's going on, Taurus. Happy birthday. Hope you're having a great birthday season. It looks like some good new things happening. But again, something you have to face. Don't be afraid to do it. All right. Don't be afraid to do that shadow work. All right. Taurus, this is long. Oh my gosh, I got a long one. All right. And tier 3 members, do you know where to find the link? All right. And anyone's welcome to join for the second spread. I will probably clarify that to a swords. I don't know. I gotta go. This is too long. All right, Taurus, I love y'all. I'll see you next week. All right, bye.